Okay.
I can always edit it later.
Cool. So yeah, is there anything in particular you kind of wanted to dive in with USPs?
Actually, I want to do a quick intro for my people.
Yeah.
Since I came up with a catchy title, my witty genius. So today, everybody, I'm Antonio from hypnosisproductreviews.com. Most people know that I started, obviously, interviewing people about hypnosis, NLP. My other interest is marketing. Mm-hmm. So instead of creating a completely new website to cover marketing podcasts, I'll do a hodgepodge. And hypnosis, persuasion, marketing, they all go together. Today, I'm interviewing Ross, the USP boss O'Loughlin, all the way from
Montreal,
via proxy of
Ireland. That's it, Cork in Ireland.
Wow, you have a very interesting accent for being over in Montreal.
Yeah, no, I get a lot of people telling me that it's it's strange that I still have my original accent, but I tell them I work on it every day. So
yeah, it's not like you're not going to lose the color of your skin when you move.
Yeah. We don't not hardly. I try not to anyway. Like the sunshine here blisters me pretty quickly if I'm not wearing my SPF 9000.
I bet you walk on the sun, it's like yeah. So let's jump into it. So basically, long story short, I was in I think it was the Gary Halbert copy group. I asked somebody about USPs, and our friend Kevin Rogers, a brilliant guy, he's like, you know what? You got to talk to Ross, the USP boss.
Yeah, no, Kevin Rogers is he's one of my mentors, and he's an amazing copywriter. One of the few A-list copywriters that are out there. Sold some ridiculous amount of product with his copy, over like 10 million or something like that. And yeah, he's now running a community called Copy Chief, where he brings copywriters and business owners together to solve the big problem that is like copywriting. Because for a lot of business owners, they're trying to live the dream of that online business now, but it's tough to set off a website if your copy sucks. So he's trying to solve that problem, and I worked with him, and I've through last number of years since I started getting into copy or into marketing, I kind of discovered that when you dive into it, copy is one of those key levers that really moves the needle, right? And then when you dive into copy, what's one of the levers that really moves the needle inside of copy? It's the unique selling proposition, or the value proposition that it's known as. So, I just went as deep as I could on learning about that topic from a bunch of sources, and managed to do a training inside Copy Chief, I think that's where Kev saw, the potential of what I was teaching. And now, we have a number of clients that I'm helping it with, and it's a ton of fun helping people work on their USPs.
Yeah, what I wanted to actually mention, since you mentioned Kevin Rogers, not to segue, but this bad boy here, the 60-second sales hook, brilliant piece of marketing copy, super easy.
Yeah,
super easy.
Yeah. The 60-second sales hook is actually what brought me on Kevin's radar as well. Or how I found Kevin, I should say. It's so simple, so effective as well. If you go to my website, you'll see I have my own 60-second sales hook on my about page, and getting that right, just identifying your story and why people should pay attention to you is a huge component of any marketing and copywriting.
And speaking of, I actually have this copy here of this other marketer. Yeah, he's a so-so marketer, a little cocky at times. This deal right here.
Yeah. You haven't got that one in color just yet.
No. So folks, I want to actually mention, before I forget, go to his website. What is it? Conversionengineering.co?
Yeah, conversionengineering.co. Yeah.
Pick up this bad boy right here. Is it a 14-part checklist that helps you go over your...
Yeah, six-part checklist. I think it's like about 14 pages or so. I spent a lot of time, boiling it down, because, we all have a ton of stuff that we download and then never read. And I intentionally wanted that to be like actually consumable in under, 3, 4, 5 minutes. It's less than 1,000 words, but it just gets the idea of what you want to be doing when you need to come up with a USP, just getting that across to you so you can start thinking in those terms. Because, once you start thinking in those terms and identifying like why someone should choose you rather than the competition, it really gives your marketing a kick in the rear end. Gives you a big leg up on the competition as well, which is why I think most people are interested in it.
And it helps. We're actually talking about how it helps your having USP will definitely help your copy. I actually had a question. I emailed you. I saw your response yesterday about how can you interject a USP into your marketing. Before you actually go into how to come up with the USP, I want to know how can you interject your USP in your marketing.
Yeah. So this is a good question, right? Because I work with a lot of clients, and then we'll work on their USP, and then we get it nicely defined. It makes a lot of sense. They've got a lot of clarity on what their unique selling proposition is, and then they're like, how do I use this? Which is kind of a weird question to me, just because of the way I think about marketing. And the way I think about marketing is that, like, any of your marketing materials, whether it's your website, your sales page, emails, whatever it is, like, they should be either stating or supporting or giving some form of your USP, right? So, when you think about a USP, it's like, why should it's explaining the argument for why someone should choose your option over the competition, right? So, like, if you're talking about, what we might be familiar with in the online marketing space, like the classic sales page, where, or a VSL, for example, video sales letter, what that is it's essentially trying to sell someone on the purchase of a product. Now, depending on the scenario, you might need a lot of copy at the start of that, talking about a story, talking about the problem, trying to connect with the audience to say, hey, I've got your attention and I understand the problem that you're going through. But all of that is really there just to build up to the reveal of the unique selling proposition, right? And what the unique selling proposition is, it's explaining the portion about the product, right? Like, oftentimes you'll see people, and when they make an announcement of their product, like, they'll have the big sales funnel, and it might be a week of emails, and then the cart opens and it's like, introducing ABC product, right? And then often what happens is, right underneath that introducing, you'll see the USP, right? The only course that will blah 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 in 10 days and blah 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 benefit, right? It's that's where the USP comes in. When you start talking about the product, that's where you want to explain why this product should be chosen rather than any of the others, right?
Oh, I just had a light bulb. Actually, that would actually help the light bulb here.
Yeah, there's a bing.
Yeah, right. So I'm working on a sales letter right now where I don't think I have it right. Actually, I do. It says, attention hypnotist, blah, blah. This one clumsy mistake has ruined destroyed reputations and ended careers of over 90% of hypnotherapists. Mm. So this, going off of Eugene Schwartz's levels of sophistication,
yeah,
I think this one would be a mix of a secret lead versus secret lead and kind of story lead, because they know they have a problem, they're not really sure of the solution.
Yeah. So they may be problem aware, but they're not solution or product aware, right? And like that, this is pretty sophisticated stuff when it comes to copy. I'm not sure. If people are going to be aware, but like Eugene Schwartz does have like 5 stages of awareness when it comes to the product. And when someone is like highly aware of the product, like your marketing is just going to be your USP, right?
It's just straight into a pitch, right?
Exactly. And like the classic example of this is, when you're walking down a street, right, and you see all like sandwich boards out in the street, right? Like everyone knows what a sandwich is. Everyone's tried a million sandwiches. Right? You just need to explain to me why I need to go in and try this sandwich right now, or why I need to try this hamburger, right? And it may often be the price, or may often it's a special offer, right? Like there's nothing special about one sandwich versus another, but there's a compelling reason on why you might want to try this one right now over anything else on the street, right? So that's one end of it about where the USP would be. But then on the other end, if someone is unaware, or they're only problem or solution aware, you then have to start the conversation with your copy, way before you talk about the product, because you need to get the person's attention, meet them where they're at, and then build up to the USP to reveal to them then is like, hey, this is why this is the best product for you. So.
Okay. So, question, say with this bad boy, where would I put that? So I basically did the intro, dear friend, if you ever had this, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So in this copy, I basically, at one point I say, so I created my flagship program, Script Telling Hypnosis, that kills the need for useless scripts, blah, 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 blah. That is basically where I would introduce the USP then.
Sorry, repeat that last part again. So you're saying...
So basically...
So just explain what's the product itself? It's a program?
It's a lot of hypnotists want to read scripts off to their clients, basically read scripts, but that ruins the rapport.
Gotcha.
Scripts don't work because we're all unique individuals. So my friend created a product. I'm doing the copy. So at one part of the copy it says, so I created my flagship program, Script Killing Hypnosis, that kills the need for useless scripts and weak techniques and gets instant and powerful changes for your clients in a completely natural and authentic way.
Yeah.
So that would basically, that right there would be where I start introducing the USP then.
Yeah, exactly, right? And like when you define like a USP, oftentimes some things you want to be looking for, is the level of exclusivity that your product has, right? Like the only program that, blah, 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 right? Or the only, the program specifically designed to, bam, right? And oftentimes, you'll see the exclusivity attached to an ideal customer, right? The only program specifically designed for ABC hypnotherapists that does ABC. So that's like the definition of the USP at that point. And then what you might do is you'll unravel those claims, because oftentimes, you'll kind of compact your claims down so that it's easy to understand, and then you need to unpack them. And it sounds like what you're doing there is you're unpacking a piece of the USP to explain why this option is what it is, who it's for, and why it's the best choice for them.
Okay, camera, go back into focus. Magic. My buddy, when I was talking about doing the copy for him, I asked him, like, so who's this product for? I know it's for hypnotists. He's like, it was for anybody. It's for anybody that wants to communicate effectively. I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, that'll be impossible to communicate.
Yeah.
First off, start off with the hypnotist, and then if you want to teach lawyers how to use, and then segue. But everybody's too hard. Yeah,
no, the way I the way I explain when people come to me first and they're learning about USPs, what a USP, unique selling proposition is it's the answer to the question, if I am your ideal customer, why should I buy from you rather than anyone else, right? And the thing about that is that, like, if you fill in the blanks there, and the blanks would be, ideal customer, why should I, buy from you? And the other blank would be rather than any of your competitors. Like, you need to add in specific detail to those to really get an idea, a clear answer to that question. So, in my scenario, the value proposition question would be, if I am an online entrepreneur and I want to, improve my marketing and increase my sales, why should I, learn about USPs from Ross O'Loughlin rather than any other online marketing information source, right? Or something similar to that effect that I'm just spitting off. But, that would be very different if they're not learning about USPs from me. Maybe they want to buy copywriting services from me, right? So that would be, if I'm an online entrepreneur, why would I hire Ross O'Loughlin as a copywriter rather than any other copywriter? Like, that's a distinctly different argument that's going to be made. And oftentimes when I'm working with people on their USPs, the number one thing, the first thing that needs to be done is getting really clear on the ideal customer. Because, you're familiar with, like, Copy Chief, right? So Copy Chief is Kevin Rogers' copywriting community. And there's 3 main customer avatars, ideal customers that he has. The first is like entrepreneurs who want to improve their copywriting to improve their own sales, right? Another one is a freelance copywriter who wants to improve their copywriting business by, getting more clients, better clients, right? So the argument that Kevin Rogers needs to make to each of those people for why Copy Chief is a good fit for them is completely different. So, him coming up with one USP and then hoping that fits both of those ideal customers it's pointless. And that's the big problem a lot of people have, is they think, oh yeah, let me just say why I'm the best because this is available for everyone. But what you need to do is you need to think about, okay, well, what are the customer buckets that I have, and what's the argument, the USP I need to make for each of those to compel them to choose my option.
It's almost like you need somebody's direct cell phone line versus a megaphone and just yelling at the audience.
Exactly. There's a great line. Dean Jackson, who I'm sure you're familiar with, he came up with like the 9-word email and a million other things in marketing. He's one of the best direct response marketers out there. He talks about this in terms of compel versus convince, right? You want to compel someone to take action rather than trying to convince them that your option is the best fit, right? And you can only do that by really getting specific and understanding what someone wants, and then explaining it with such clear clarity, such smack in the head, obvious clarity about why it is valuable to them, that they're going to be compelled to take that option, right?
It seems like with it's cobwebs are kind of getting cleared in my head. It seems like with the USP, it'll make your copy way easier. Like I've seen you talk about I think. What's your tagline? Like with
Hold on, I'll just restart the recording here. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's like I was saying, it seems like with having a really clear USP, we having that clarity, where it's already meeting them at their level. You don't have to like yell in their face.
Yeah, could you repeat that again? Actually, you just broke up. The signal just got a little sticky there, just as you said it. So you were saying with a clear USP?
Yeah, so with a clear USP, it seems like it's... oh, sorry. So with a clear USP, it seems like having that clarity, you don't really need to yell at somebody. It seems like it would just come through the copy. And it's not that hype copy.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of the big people that I learned a lot about from copy is Flint McLaughlin, who's big director of Mech Labs, who's in charge of like marketing experiments and marketing Sherpa. And one of the lines that he uses, which sticks with me to this day, is that like clarity trumps persuasion, right? And you'll see in a lot of these, online marketing and copywriting spaces that there's a big emphasis on, persuasion and scarcity and hype and, trying to make things sound amazing. And in reality, you don't need to do that, right? That people are getting very aware of that, and like it starts to make their skin crawl because it's very overly salesy. And there's nothing wrong with selling, but if you have something that's clearly valuable and who it's clearly valuable to, and they clearly want it, that will allow you to craft a very compelling USP. And then exactly like you said, you don't need to scream at someone to buy, because if someone has a problem and you've explained that you understand the problem in a way that they recognize and relate to, and then you say this is the best product for you to solve that problem because ABC, then there's no need to scream and yell. You know what I mean? Like they want that problem solved. At that point, all you need to do is prove to them that what you're saying is true, right?
Say, here's the product, something like that.
Yeah.
Here's the product.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, right, is like the way you need to think about it is, I understand this, I want this, I believe this, I can't get this anywhere else, right? And that's the main thing that the USP needs to layer onto it on top is, I can't get this anywhere else. This is, like, there's an exclusivity factor here that's saying, why I need to choose this option over the rest. And when you do that, there's no need to be yelling and screaming, because you've put yourself in what my friend John Belkowitz calls the world of one, right? Like Apple is the only place you can get Apple products, right? So people, they want them. That's the place that they have to go and get them, right? They're the best design technology products on the market. That's their USP. And if you were into design, where else are you going to get your technology products but from Apple, right?
Good example. People line up to get that stuff.
Oh yeah, and they will line up for whatever it is, right? Like the new iWatch. I'm not interested in that, but I went in and I check it out because Apple have done such a great job with their USPs and their value propositions over the years that I'm like every single one of those is something I'd be interested in. I just have to decide whether or not I want that product, right? And that's the thing, when you have a really powerful brand like that, it brings a lot of expectation to you or to what you release. Like some people say, what is it? They could release an hat and people would go in and buy it, right?
Yeah. Well, you're halfway to the demographic. You got the market. Now you just got to sit in Starbucks and play on a laptop.
Yeah, that's it, right?
It's a total stereotype. You know, they sit there. I know I'm going to offend so many people. I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, these people, they're at Starbucks playing on iTunes. Actually, I'll speaking of this, if I find the picture, I will add this to this below this video for the blog post. Starbucks, by where I have a timeshare booth, like Starbucks, they let you can do business in there as long as you buy something. Their policy is you can't solicit unless you buy something. This chick has a freaking huge computer. She takes her computer, sets it on the table
in the Starbucks cafe.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And I just walked by her. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I go to work in cafes sometimes to get out of the office here I have at home, and I can't do it. You know, it's too full of distractions, and you know, there's just so many things coming and going. It's nice for a break, but I don't know if I could set up office there.
Yeah, like what's his name? Dan Meredith. It sounds like he started that Coffee with Dan, but like that. At first, it's good for me, but then my brain, everything just bounces around. Like, I can't do it.
That's it, right? You know, for whatever reason, anytime someone walks in, I'm just like, who's this? Who's this? And I'm like, no, get back, focus. But yeah, that's just me.
Okay, now let's see. Let's actually go into the crafting of a USP.
Yeah. So. Yeah, was there a specific question, or were you wondering like what's the method that I use to use it?
Let's say if I don't know if you could do something off the actually probably couldn't do off the fly. So I've been going through your ebook. I'm actually working on copy for somebody. I've been trying to get him to craft a USP, and with the language barrier, it's really hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting some of his transcript that we did. And he had somebody transcribe it, but I see all the errors. I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely a Danish interpretation of an English word. With one thing I'm looking to do is actually starting to do a sales copy just for hypnotists. For me to craft the thing is, I don't know of any other hypnotist that is doing sales letters. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I could use that in the USP.
Right. So you're talking about your own USP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I can make my own USP, it'll be easier for me to help other people do it.
Yeah. So the way I always tell people, you know, when it comes to crafting a USP, first thing is you need to decide what USP you're working on, right? Because people often think, you know, what's my USP? What's the USP for, like, you know, my business? But the first thing you need to realize is that you have a lot of USPs, right? Like, it's not just like you have one and that's it. So you'd have, you know, a company USP, why someone should choose your company rather than anyone else. You have a personal USP, which is why someone would choose to work with you as opposed to anyone else in your space, like a professional or whatnot. And then you'd have your product/service USP, why someone should choose your product or service. Now, these all don't apply to everyone, but they do apply across the board in the decisions that are being made. So the first thing I would say is, you know, what's the purchasing decision that's being made by your potential clients? You know, are they going to be hiring you as a copywriter? Are they going to be hiring you? Are they going to be hiring your company? Are they going to be buying a specific product from you? So it sounds like in your case, it would be like for copywriting services, right?
Yeah. Right. It's a basic sales letter.
Yeah. Basic sales letter. So then, you know, I would be then asking the question, are they going to be choosing you as a copywriter, or are you offering like a specific kind of service/product package that they would be choosing from? Now, in my experience, mostly they're just hiring a copywriter, right? They're looking, who's the person that I can work with on this? Who's the person that I can interact with and choose to do this work? And it's not so much on what's the best, you know, product or package that's available for me in terms of copywriting services. Some people think like that, but most people don't. So it sounds like you'll be working on a personal USP. So the first step on that would be coming up with what's known as your value proposition question, which is kind of what I mentioned before. So if I am your ideal customer, why should I choose you rather than any of your competition? So for you, it would be, you know, if I am a hypnotist who wants to blank, let's say they're selling like an information product online?
more often than not, it would be trainings. I want to avoid doing things for help. I want to avoid sales letters for hypnotherapists doing their services, smoking, weight loss. I want to avoid that. I want to do more the training just because it's a higher price point.
Yeah.
Training, seminars, etc.
Got you. So let's say they're putting on a training seminar, right? So the question would then take the form of, if I am a hypnotherapist who wants to put on a training seminar, why should I hire Antonio to write the sales letter or to be my copywriter rather than any other copywriter out there, right? So that would be the starting point, and it's really important that you get crystal clear on that. And it's a step that a lot of people overlook because they think, oh yeah, let me just start listing out the reasons why I'm the best person, the best choice, because that's the sexy stuff, right? Why I'm so cool. But it's important that you take that first step because you have to use customer-centric logic, right? And that's really important because it's not what you think, it's what is perceived and understood and believed by the ideal customer. And without writing out and defining that question, parts of the process later on get hard to do. So once you have that question defined, the next step then is to list out, the reasons why someone would choose you, right? These are, what we call claims of value. And these are just essentially the ways that you would add value to someone if they were to choose your service, right? So, maybe you have a specific system for writing copywriting. Obviously, one claim of value that you'd make is you have experience with hypnotherapy, right?
Sorry for interrupting. I was actually going to follow up and say that that's funny. I think how your method is. I've looked at different USP methods. I've looked at, John Carlton's got his simple, a 3-step part, which I don't know if you've seen it. It's like, I'm a blank that does this, even if blank.
Yeah.
Which is so it kind of crafts it, but with this, you're actually getting to the almost the hidden benefit. And that question you asked me right there, that's what automatically I thought about. I'm like, well, shit, I'm a hypnotist, so I know the pains, the frustrations of hypnotists.
Yeah, right. And not only that, but you probably have an awful lot more experience, not just with them, but with the market that they're selling to, right? So the way the process goes is that you would just keep doing that, right? Like list out all the reasons why someone would choose you. And I always recommend to clients that come with me or people that are looking to do this stuff, the best way to do this is to just speak to some of your previous clients, right? Rather than asking them, the best thing to do is just go and ask them, like, why did you choose me, right? And don't put any thoughts in their head. Don't give them any suggestions. Don't lead them. Just get the direct, honest feedback. But keep going. Keep asking why. Keep asking, was there anything else? And just try and get to the real reasons that someone chose you. Because oftentimes, they'll say something, but they really mean something else, right? You're probably very familiar with that concept in terms of hypnotherapy. But you once you have those reasons, then the next thing you need to do is you need to rank them, right? Because not all reasoning is going to be equal, right? And the way that the method that I teach people works is you want to be leading with the most appealing and exclusive stuff, because it's important that you sequence your messages. Like one problem that a lot of entrepreneurs run into is they're like, I know too much about my product and my service, and it's all amazing, and they just need to get it all out, and they don't know what to say first, second, and third, and they don't know when to stop because they don't know what it is that's going to be important and get the person compelled to choose them. So they're like just shotgun. And that's not an effective messaging strategy.
Throw it against the wall.
Exactly. See what sticks. But what realistically, what you should be able to do is understand what's really important to the person, and then find that overlap between appeal and exclusivity, which is the thing that they want that only you have, right? And when you find that, that should be the crux of what your USP should be.
Wow. So many little headlights. Hopefully next time, speaking of light, I won't have freaking Go say, oh, look, I have a little hand puppet.
Little shadow puppets.
Yeah, so folks, definitely, if you want to learn more, go to conversionengineering.co.
Yeah.
Download this bad boy. This is actually one of the, this is, in my opinion, it's the best thing I have found for creating USPs. The question I really love is, let's see, what is it? It says, define your ideal customer and what they want. Dude, a simple fill in the blank. A blank that wants a blank.
Right. And that's the thing is, you know, I take it a little step further than that when I work with clients, but that's the main thing that people skip over is what does the person want, right? Like, it's a customer category that wants something, right? So for you, like, your customer category would be hypnotherapists, right? But if the guy doesn't want, for example, to put on a seminar, your seminar copywriting services are useless, right? So why would you try and message to that person or even consider that person in your marketing when, you know, what are you doing in that situation? You are now going to try and convince them that they need to hire a copywriter rather than compel someone who's already, you know, wants that thing. And I tell people, go a step further. It's not just a blank that wants blank. It's a blank that wants blank and has already decided that blank, right? Because in your scenario, you know, it would be a hypnotherapist that wants to put on a seminar and has already decided that having a sales letter is the best way to sell seats, right? Because if someone thinks, okay, you know, I'm going to go and, I don't know, hire a sales team, telesales team to just like hit the phones and dial my list to try and sell seats. You know what I mean? Again, you are now back in a situation where you are going to try and have to convince him that copywriting is a better route to go. And that's a waste of your marketing energy because you're much better focused. You're much better off focusing your energies on someone that has already decided, hey, I need a copywriter. Who's the best one for me?
Oh, I gotta stretch my back a little bit. God, that's brilliant so far. So any other thoughts, or I don't know, maybe we can talk about how you guys are going to be building a wall to keep all of us Americans out of there?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's a wall being built on the north border at the moment. I think it's the south border that they're worried on, right?
I worry about all you guys trying to even get out in the sun coming down. Once the sun hits you, burn up like this. What all products do you have? Do you have any? I know you. Oh, you said you do. I think you do have a USP product coming out in the future, right?
Yeah. It's something I'm working on. You know, I have a lot of people who've, you know, come onto the newsletter and they're, you know, really enjoying it. But obviously, you know, I have a done with you service where I take people through it, defining their USP, discovering it, and then you know, increasing its power. But for a lot of people, you know, it's just, you know, the price point isn't a reality for them. And I have had a number of people say, hey, you know, I'd love to be able to do this myself and have a bit more knowledge than just what's in the ebook. So it's something I'm working on. It's not I haven't got a deadline on when it'll be out, but it is definitely something that will be coming soon. So yeah, get on the list if you're interested.
It's funny, your first email you sent out, what was it? It's hey Antonio. I was like, oh my god, I love the person. That's why I love email marketing, that personalization. And then I go to reply to it. It actually is a very relaxed email. It's not real hypey, high pitch. So I thought I'm like, wait, did he see? Because I know I think I subscribed after we set the podcast up, and so I thought, I'm like, did he see this and is he replying? And then I also subscribed from work so I could actually print the ebooks. I'm not going to waste my paper, my ink. And in fact, my printer is all screwed up. I saw the same email at work. I'm like, oh no, it's an autoresponder.
Yeah. It's the classic. It's but that's the thing, right? Is like I'm a big fan of Dean Jackson. Dean Jackson, as I mentioned, is amazing, and he came up with the concept of what's called the 9-word email, right? And you know, the concept there is that you're compelling someone to respond. It's like a short personal email that expects a response. And you could say it's an autoresponder because, you know, yeah, sure, the email gets sent automatically, but I reply to everyone. Anyone that replies to that email, I reply. And I would send out all those emails individually if I had the time and I was watching the leads come in, but it's much more effective for me to just set up an autoresponder to send that email out automatically. And I get a crazy percentage of people responding to that email. Like, it's just really short. It's like, hi Brian, I see you just subscribed to the blog or just joined my newsletter. Glad to have you. What business are you in? Another one is, are you interested in, like, what are the challenges you're looking to solve by this? And, it's a conversation starter. And then as soon as that person replies, you always get someone saying, is this an autoresponder or nice 9-word email? But that's fine, because I always say to them, yes, it is an autoresponder, but the message and the intentional is personal, right?
Yeah, autoresponders make our life way easier.
Oh, yeah. And it's as I said, it's just a conversation starter, right? One of the things that Kevin Rogers talks a lot about, and he's another one of my mentors, is he talks about the dialogue and the importance of dialogue with your market, right? Actually speaking with them, understanding where they're coming from, how they found you, what they're interested in, what they're challenging with, or what they're finding challenging in their world. Because without that, you're never really going to know, is this what I'm doing actually what they would want? And that 9-word email is one of the best tools to get that dialogue started.
Are you still interested in learning about hypnosis? That's a brilliant email.
Right? Oh yeah, it's fantastic. You know what I mean? And that's another email that is should be like, I'm going to be putting later in my autoresponders. Is just, are you interested? Are you still interested in working on your USP? Because if they are or they're not, you're just asking, and if they are, they'll respond. They'll be compelled.
And if not, you might get somebody off your list that you're not spending money on. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big fan of telling people to unsubscribe, because I don't want them on my list. If they're not going to buy, then we're wasting digital breath and energy sending the emails to them. But asking them if they are interested is a big difference.
So I think we got everything covered. Let's see. I don't know if I have any more. Actually, I haven't busted out a ginger joke.
I knew this was coming.
Any good ginger jokes?
Oh Jesus.
I don't have any jokes. It's general, just like poke. Oh! I can see one starting in your face from the sun.
Yeah. No, there's not that many jokes that I can recall right now. I've always been called the day walker by my friends, right? Which is a good one. And then there's the classic South Park one, right? When having no souls. But,
hey, you look at picture. Oh, I'm gonna add that picture. Because I know you. Like, I've been following your stuff, your sense of humor. I'm like, yeah, he'll love this one.
Yeah.
No, another chick I like having fun with. Lori Morgan Ferrero.
Yeah. Great copywriter.
Yeah, a couple times I've tagged her in my ginger posts, and she's got a great heart, great sense of humor.
Yeah. No, the thing about it, I always say, right, when someone makes a ginger joke, it's because they secretly like you. You know what I mean? No one makes ginger jokes to people they don't like.
Exactly. So I think we got everything covered. Any last words?
No. Obviously, head on over to conversionengineering.co if you think like a unique selling proposition is something that can move the needle in your business. I'm happy to help and have conversations with anyone that comes there. I do have like a 20-minute exploration call for any subscribers if they want to talk about it. Get on there. Some of my best stuff is in that daily newsletter. I love sharing. I love teaching. So if it's something you're interested in, check it out.
And careful, if you subscribe to the newsletter, you might just be fishing for some souls out there.
Excellent.
Very, very, very good. So I think we got everything covered. I need to get out the door. I got to start doing some exercising so I can get my back into shape. Anybody that likes this podcast, do me a favor. You can drop an email below. You can drop a comment below, share this, or if anybody is interested in us doing maybe a workshop in the future about crafting a USP, let me know. I'll contact him on the other side of the world.
Fantastic. Awesome. Cheers. Great shot, man. Nice one, Antonio. We'll speak soon.
Okay, so you can just get that to me. God, that's awesome. Day one.